I hope, because
There you go.
morning, Dave.
Good morning, Dave.
Not sure he's hooked up yet. So he's
I know.
connecting to audio. Looks like he's still got a cough from his round of COVID. Can you hear us, Dave? No, you can't. Okay. There you go. Can you hear us now, Dave?
I hear you.
Okay, good. And we can hear you. Great. So how are things in Florida?
That's still warm.
They were warm here yesterday too, but today they're cool and rainy.
Yeah.
I heard on the weather this morning that they would anticipate today timing the all-time longest record of 90-degree temperature here in South Florida.
Oh, wow.
70 consecutive days of 90-degree, breaking a record from 1951.
Oh, wow.
What happened to global warming? Started in 51, I guess.
Yep.
Morning, Sylvia.
Good morning.
How are things in Iowa? Where are you in Iowa? I don't know where you are now.
Yes, we're on the farm. They're good. It was raining. I think we drove through rain all the way from Montana to here yesterday. I mean, we didn't drive from Montana to here yesterday, but we drove through rain all the way from Montana 3 days ago. And it was raining when we got here, which was nice. The grass is green. And so, yeah, we were feeling pretty good about that.
Yeah, we got a half an inch of rain overnight, Steve says, and it's pouring buckets at the moment. So
Oh, well,
Well,
could have used
you
it
guys
back
don't
in
need
June or early July, but hey.
yeah. Well, you don't want
Guess
too
we'll-
much rain during harvest, and we're about to start harvest here, it looks like.
Yeah, we're not ready for that yet, but you're right. You don't want too much at that point in time, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So what are your plans for this week, Lynn?
Well, today is the tail end of an extremely busy few days, but then on Tuesday, well, tomorrow Kuipers are arriving, and then on Tuesday they and Crossers and us are driving to North Carolina. We're going to spend the week with Bert and Sally and the rest of the Earlham crowd at the Blue Ridge Academy in Black Mountains.
Yeah, the YMCA.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a lovely place. That's where North Carolina yearly meeting has been meeting when they were a yearly meeting. Yeah.
That's what the USFWI gals told us when we were chatting over dinner, that's where they used to go regularly. And Jan McVeigh's uncle had something to do with the founding of it. He was a big mucky muck in the Y back when. And
The Blue Ridge Assembly, that's what it is. Yeah.
Norma, I'm gonna walk you to your car. I don't have my umbrella. When you get ready to leave, I'll walk with you. I don't have my umbrella or my raincoat.
I have
It's
my umbrella.
absolutely pouring.
I have an umbrella in my car.
Yeah, yeah.
I have my raincoat.
So Dave's been there too, because we had the Mills cousin reunion there about 3 years ago.
So we'll be there until the following Tuesday or Wednesday, something like that, and then come back home.
Yep.
there's the guy who's doing the rain dance, I guess.
Morning.
Are you doing your rain dance?
Oh, well,
Morning, Dan.
morning, Sue.
Morning.
No, I didn't do the rain dance, but I'm sure glad to see a little.
what'd you say, almost a little shy of a half an inch. It's helpful though.
Where's Brent today?
Brent's in Cincinnati.
Oh.
He's got some kind of a speaking obligation. or
He's
something.
leading a weekend workshop for Cincinnati Friends Meeting. They were to have one this weekend with Michael Burkle leading, but Michael is having more eye problems unfortunately and wasn't able to come. And Brent was supposed to go in the spring, so they just flip-flopped him and Brent has gone this weekend.
Oh.
I don't know whether you know who Michael Burkle is or not. He's a retired professor from Earlham ESR. It has eye problems enough that may lead to him being blind at some point, which is gonna be a little problem for a researcher and writer. So, but he and Brent switched places this week.
He's had eye problems for some time, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has, I'm not sure exactly what they are, but they seem to have been kind of arrested for a while. But apparently whatever it is becoming active again. And from my point of view, he's not that old. He and I are the same age, so I think it's a little young for him to be having these sorts of problems. Yes, I just had a birthday, and yes, it was a milestone, and whoopee. I used to think this age was older than dirt, but I realize now it's definitely not.
How's Alan getting along?
Alan,
Uh-huh.
doing great. We were up there, what, a month ago? We hadn't seen him since his surgery, and we'd heard rumors he was doing quite well. Lynn Geyer told me she'd seen him out and about, walking and whatnot, but he's doing really, really well. He has a recumbent bike now, and he rides 9 miles a day on his bike.
Wow.
Yeah, that works better for him with his prosthesis than a regular bike that you have to balance and that sort of thing. And so he just gets out on it and off he goes. So his surgery was a real success.
Those roads aren't very good for bicycling. They're not very wide,
Right.
and a recumbent would be even harder to get off the road. If you
Yeah.
need to quickly.
I'm not sure where he rides, and I probably don't really want to know. It's one of those things sort of where if you don't know, you can't worry as much about it or whatever. But at least he's feeling like being out, out and about and doing things.
Mhm.
What kind of a bike is this? What kind of a
Pardon?
bike?
A recumbent,
Recumbent bike, where you sit kind of back a little and it's 3-wheel instead of 2. So he doesn't
not
have to
real
balance.
low, and yeah, your feet
And,
are almost as level with your head.
Yeah, and somehow he feels that it's easier with his artificial leg to do that than to ride a regular bike.
I would think the 3 wheels would help too. That's what I would need. And a
Yeah,
motor.
for all sorts of reasons.
First one I knew was Doc Pearson in Mooresville, who started riding one years ago. I had never seen him before. And he's still out doing that. He was last time I walked in the park, he was riding that bicycle around the bike. Maybe not the same bike, but that was probably 40 some years or more.
Oh,
Well, that was quite a trip that you two took over the last 10 days or so.
It was lovely. We Yellowstone, they described has a sections. We knew about the sections, but I had never thought about there being a figure 8 in the middle of it, and there's a lower loop and a higher loop, upper loop.
Or north, yeah.
And so when we were in Cody, we went in the east side and did the lower loop on our own. And then when we were at Brian and Valerie's, they had arranged for us to do a guided tour where there are such limited minutes you can get into the park from the north, because you have to go on the road that they're constructing to take the place of the road that washed out. So during, before they show up in the morning and during their lunch hour, when they stop working, is this little window of opportunity to drive in and drive out. So we were there at 5 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday, and we're within 15 seconds of being on time driving out. The lady at the gate said, "You got through the scare by the hair of your chin." Just 15 seconds worth she was granting us to get out before we had to stay all day. So, but the scenery was gorgeous. The buffalo herd came to us. We didn't have to go to them. I mean, they came right to us. We had to sit in the road for a while they messed around and did their thing in the road and to the side of the road. And the male buffalo were frisky and fighting each other for the female's attention, and it was just quite a sight to see. Did see a bear within the last 2 minutes of being in the park with a cub, a bear with a cub, black bear, not a grizzly. It was nice to be with Brian and Valerie. You know, just we knew them pretty well, but I didn't know them that well, so it was just great. Brian's a lot more generous than his father was. So, you know, Frederick Buechner that I spoke about in a message a month or two ago or three, right? The Presbyterian, and he's recently passed away. This was the message on Plow this morning. Have you wept at anything during the past year? Has your heart beat faster at the sight of young beauty? Have you thought seriously about the fact that someday you are going to die? More often than not, do you really listen when people are speaking to you instead of just waiting for your turn to speak? Is there anybody you know in whose place, if one of you had to suffer great pain, you would volunteer yourself? If your answer to all or most of these questions is no, chances are that you're dead. Pretty abrupt ending to that, but from his book, Listen to Your Life.
Morning, Jonathan.
Morning, Jonathan.
Good morning.
How are things in your part of Kentucky?
Well, so far, yeah, we seem to have a fairly clear day for the moment. I think we're supposed to get some rain later, but all is well. Hope all of you are too.
We're getting rain here in Indiana right at this point. I think it's that time for us to begin. Looks like we have a quality crowd, but not necessarily quantity today, both online and here. Here in the meeting room, we have Norma and Chip and Steve and me, and you all can see who's online. It's good to have you all here. Brent is in Ohio leading a retreat at Cincinnati Friends meeting, so he is not here today. I'm sure he would appreciate our thoughts and prayers while he's leading that workshop. Are there other joys or concerns to share this morning?
I know the Heschelmans, I think, are on a vacation.
Right.
Visiting family.
Right.
It looks like we have about 20 people signed up for the retreat, for the women's retreat at Quaker Haven. So we'll be traveling there today, preparing this evening and tomorrow morning for that.
So we need to keep you in our thoughts and prayers too, as you lead that.
Please do. It's gonna be a worthwhile experience, I trust.
I'm disappointed I won't be there. I've been one of the people who's been suggesting that we ask you to do this for years, and then now when you are doing it, I can't be there. So I'm sorry about that, but we will definitely keep you in our thoughts and prayers as you lead that retreat.
And as you travel with your group, I think those moments are so precious for you all, and I hope things go well.
Thank you.
Well, it is 9/11, so we need to keep all those people.
Well, I'm the worship leader this morning. So let's settle into a little open worship, and then I will have a few things to say and then play some hymns for you. Loving God, it is good to be together. Even though Zoom is not new anymore, I'm still in awe of our ability to be together, even when we aren't in the same room. And I thank you for the wonders of technology that allow that to happen. Thank you for the beautiful world that you have given us to live in, and the rain and the sunshine that help nourish it and nourish us. We trust that you will be with all of the people in our thoughts and prayers that maybe we haven't mentioned this morning, but that we carry in our hearts. Thank you for being with those of us who have things going on, special things going on this week. And we thank you for blessing those. Give us a special blessing of your presence with us this morning. Amen. Well, I have decided that September must be the month for tired worship leaders. Last week, Brent said that he was having trouble discerning what he was to talk about, and I have had the same problem. It was just a challenge to figure out a topic for this morning's hymns. But the fact that today is 9/11 sort of helped me focus a bit. If we all are of a certain age, and so there are dates that stick in our minds in special ways, like December 7th, 1941, or the assassination of President Kennedy, and certainly 9/11 is one of those. We can probably all remember exactly where we were on that beautiful, brilliant Tuesday morning with a little bit of fall in the air. So it's, even though that was 21 years ago, it still is a time for thinking about our future, because it brings back vivid memories of fear and uncertainty and concern for the future of our country and the future of the world. So it seems like a good time to hear some hymns about peace. Now, there are all kinds of peace, of course. There's peace within ourselves, peace with God, and peace with our neighbors, however it is that we define the word neighbor. Sometimes when I play hymns, I try to sort of group them together under a main topic, like, for instance, the songs about peace with God might be all together, and the peace within ourselves might be different, but I didn't do that this morning. I just picked hymns that talk about various kinds of peace. And so that's what I want to share with you today. I usually do try to send you an email that tells you page numbers in the hymn book, but that was not one of the things on my mile-long to-do list that managed to get done this week. So you'll just have to listen, and hopefully these songs will bring you a sense of peace too.
Thank you, Lynn, for the selections that you played this morning, and I think closing with the one that you did, let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. That is such an important message. Unless each of us assume responsibility, it's not going to happen. We each have to be kind. We have to open doors for people. We have to smile at people. We have to say thank you. And if we don't do it, other people will not pass it on either. So thank you for that last piece especially.
It's that time when we transition into the unprogrammed part of our worship. We invite you all to stay with us, but know some of you need to leave, and we wish you Godspeed. Hopefully, we'll see you next week. Have a good week. all hearts are clear, we'll be at the end of meeting. It's good to see everybody today.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Right.